Hi there, don't forget to subscribe to us and please turn on the bell notification. Right now we have Roshan Narayan right here on the RSS with HD. Hi again, welcome to the show with myself, Rashid, Salleh, as well as Harish, still here on the RSS with HD. Firstly, I'd like to thank, there it is. I keep forgetting the logo. The logo's over here. Thank you to Amnig, our apparel sponsor for the show. And we're going to go straight into it, Harish, as usual. We've got someone who's been in the similar business as I have, and a lot taller and hairier as well. Please welcome Roshan Narayan.
Thank you.
Sorry,
racist, huh?
Actually, you two are a lot hair. That's not being racist. It's fact. You guys are hairier than I am.
No, races, as in car races.
Oh, car races. Sure.
Off to the races. It's a very British thing. I've been watching The Crown on Netflix because there's nothing else to do right now. Forgive me.
It's the new UK then. All right. You know what? I'll let Roshan do all the work, and I'll try and keep quiet, Roshan.
Hey, Roshan.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up on a Sunday morning to record this. But more importantly, we have not seen you on TV for quite some time. Could you tell us why?
Wow. It's serious now. It's getting serious all of a sudden. It's a good question. In fact, it's going to be close to a year since I was last on TV. It was the 13th of May. I was pitch side at Brighton, literally about 4 or 5 feet away from Pep Guardiola when Manchester City were crowned champions of the Premier League. And at that point of time, I look back and I asked myself, what is it that I've done? Did I want to accomplish anything else? Have I accomplished everything I wanted to do? And I look back at my career on TV and I told myself, everything what I wanted to do was done, covering the World Cup in Brazil at the Maracanã, catching the finals. That, if you're a football fan, is the highlight. Not Anfield, not Old Trafford, not the Bernabeu. Watching the World Cup finals in Brazil at the Maracanã is still the highlight of my career. I was in the studio when Leicester City were crowned champions of the Premier League, which will never be done again. So that was another tick mark. And then being pitch side at Brighton, I just told myself, you know what, if I wanted a little full stop on my career in terms of TV, I got it there. And the only reason why I decided to move on is because I got those little tick marks, as I mentioned, but I needed to grow, just not as a person, but in terms of business. Rashid knows me for quite some time. Harish, I've known you for a few years as well.
Yeah.
And the one thing I have on my resume is 10 years plus worth of TV, about 6 years on radio, Fly FM and Mix FM.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, I was in production in this company called Planet Films as a production assistant. That's how I got started. In between, I had a website called fourthofficial.com with the Lawyer Group, as well as, of course, I was in the company called Ogilvy PR. So I had all these things in terms of media, but I'd always intentionally, from my part, stayed away from sales and marketing because 1 + 1 is 7 for me. That's how bad I'm with maths, okay?
Okay.
So I had to force myself, and me knowing myself best, I had to go deep into the unknown and learn it the hard way. That's how I learned production. That's how I learned advertising. That's how I learned radio, and that's how I learned TV. I wasn't, given an easy path in. I was just dumped into the deep end and sink or swim. And with an opportunity like being called the brand ambassador for a global football summit, that is just one step closer to me, say perhaps in about 8 to 9 years, which is my ultimate goal, is to maybe work in a football club called, Borussia Dortmund, or working in FIFA, UEFA, the AFC, because that's what football also is to me, learning the business side of things and helping create a change in the system. So I weighed up the options. I spoke to the guys at Astro and I said, listen, my contract's up. I was going to give them a number, which I knew for a fact that they might not match because it was one way of just forcing myself out of the system. And it wasn't a ridiculous number. Before any rumors are started, it was well within the industry standards because I've never chased money, to be very honest, as awkward or odd as this might sound. I never chased money because for me, if you're really good at something, money will find you. You just have to make yourself present, and hopefully the right people, which it in a weird way has worked out for me throughout my career. It's just found a way there. So with this new role, I was like, you know what? If I stay with Astro, I can't do both because TV will be my first priority. Because when a footballer comes down here, we had the show called Man on the Street. You know, you have to pick one. For a very good example, my very first meeting with the Ministry of Tourism, MOTAC, to try and get the summit endorsed, it would have been the day where Man on the Street would have been recorded. So now, if you were in my situation, which one would you have to pick? Meeting the ministry to get your summit, which you're the brand ambassador, endorsed, which was part of my job scope, or do I have to pick being on TV? It was I didn't want to put myself in that situation. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I spoke to the guys at Astro. I said, listen, this is what I want to do. Do we want to match? They said, politely, Roshan, we can't match that number. I said, so be it. Let's part off on good terms. Thank you for your opportunity. But the one thing I will say, which I did intentionally, was I put up the information that I was leaving. Because you know, bro, at the end of the day, you're a journalist. Rumors will spread first. Oh, this guy was let go. Even till today, people still talk about Fly Guy and Little Kev. The guys asked for too much money, or they were kicked out. There were so many rumors. I know Fly Guy personally. I think Rashid knows him as well. You know what the truth is, but the majority of the people might not know. Oh, this guy was chasing too much money. So I intentionally put the news out saying that I've left. I thank the guys at Astro, especially Astro Supersport for me, and the crew at Astro Arena for helping me look good. Literally, just not the makeup, but helping me grow as a professional.
Going way too ahead of yourself for that with that one. Anyway,
thank you very much.
Yeah. That was
my main criteria to move on and try to grow. And so when I mentioned it, a lot of people knew I was done with it.
Okay.
And that was my way of trying to grow as a person in the world of business and football.
Okay, Roshan, sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but now you speak about not being in front of TV anymore. So that means not much no airtime on football with regards to football. So but I know I've listened to you on radio. You've been off and on with on BFM, and here's the thing. Now, as a fan, how have you survived the very many weekends without football?
Oh my God! Like currently now?
Yeah.
I'm watching old clips on YouTube, bro. That's the only thing I can do. The first week was like, you know what? Okay, fine. I've got the weekend off. I might. Oh, that's a really good question. Do you know what's the first thing I've done for the first time in 10 years?
What? Not
take a nap during the weekend in the afternoon because I don't need to stay up late. I sat down and I enjoyed a game of football. When I say enjoy the game of football, there was no pressure.
No,
there was no. I do miss it. I generally do miss it from a football fan point of view. Talking to the footballers when there was no cameras around, just sitting down in the studio when the game was going on. But you're right, bro. It's boring, man. I mean, there's FIFA. I mean, there's Call of Duty, Warzone. I'm a full-time father and a husband. But you're right. Saturday, Sunday is boring, bro.
Oh, now he's gone down to our level. Hey.
Yeah, I've not gone down. It's like, do you know what it feels like? Because I never went out on a Friday night because I was working Saturday or I was working Sunday. So when all my boys were out, like, hey, bro, come join us for a night out, I'm like, no, I got to stay home. That's when I normally do my research that Friday night because it's fresh. And then just before I go into the studio, an hour or two before that, just to see if there's anything new. So Friday, I'm out. And then when I was out, I was like, wait a minute, this is not normal. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to enjoy myself? Then I'm all of a sudden in a restaurant watching the game, and then there's always some people coming up and trying to talk to you, bro. Why did you leave? What do you think about this? And I'm just telling myself, I got myself out of that situation to enjoy the game, and I'm back at it. But this time I'm talking about football, but not getting paid.
Okay, so hang on. We would love to, since you're on television now, so-called on YouTube, and you're in front of the screen, and now imagine you're back to that old days where you were part of TV and you were commentating. So now would love to hear your views about this. Football leagues around the world, including the M League, are itching to return. Yeah. But there's also this fear of a spike in COVID-19 cases. Now, how do you think the guardians of football should tackle this?
Wow. As a football fan, thanks for
No,
doing
no,
this,
no.
bro.
Imagine you're Roshan, you're on TV or you're on radio right now, and this question is thrown at you.
Okay. As much as I want football to return, because it will help me pay my bills, honestly speaking as well. Let's be honest, everybody here has to pay the bills. There's no such thing as a free meal nowadays, or any day for that matter of fact. I would love football to return, but my biggest concern right now is, say for example, I think the only thing that's operating right now live, so to speak, is the WWE, professional wrestling. That's the best of my knowledge. Everybody else has stopped. What if you go to work? I'm not taking everybody into consideration, just not the football teams, but the production team, the TV guys. One guy gets sick, one guy picks it up. Now, in England or Europe, you're definitely going to sue the production company unless you sign the release forms. But here, somebody falls sick. What is the reality of that situation? It is going to be extremely difficult to justify football at the risk of someone's health. Now, that is me being politically correct and trying to be as honest as I can. As a football fan, I want it to return because what's the longest we've gone without football? When there's no Euros, but technically when there's no Euros, there's the MSL is going on. There's some other league going on, the Malaysian Football League as well. It goes on not according to your European calendar. So I think this is the first time in my 22 years of experience being on this planet. That's a lie. I'm far older than that. That there's absolutely no live football whatsoever. So it is a culture shock. As a fan, I want it to return, but as a human being and as a father, I don't know, bro. I don't think I don't think we need to go back to football right now.
True. Rashid, anything to add on?
Well, I only asked
I'm past the Harish phase.
Off camera. So, but moving ahead, Roshan, what are the plans? Of course, you've got all these things that have been obviously planned before the MCO, but now the MCO has happened. What actually are the plans for you for the near future?
Okay, there's a show coming up very soon, which I'm putting together as we speak. It actually was in the process, and now it's just being rushed because, I have to do it. I have to do something. I'd rather not just sit in the house and shake my legs. The show's going to be called In 20. So it's an interview with any sports athlete or any celebrity for that fact. I'm just not going to paint myself in a corner. It's just 20 minutes, me sitting down with your local hero or your international hero. And I'm going to give the fans out there as much of an opportunity to ask the questions they want to ask them via video. Oh. Hopefully they don't swear, curse, or declare war on anybody else. So as long as we don't cross that line, that show should be a success. And hopefully in this day and age where I believe what we're doing right now is the new mainstream media, it will pick up because I think this is a good wake-up call for all the relics in the business who have not adapted way before they should have in terms of production or whatever. In Harish, your website, Rashid, with your show right now, I think this is the new norm. And it's teaching a lot of people out there that even with the smallest amount of budget, you can get something done, which is far better, dare I say, than what your old school media would do. Or correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, there we go.
Well, I'm not going to correct you in that part.
There we go.
You said it.
It's the new norm. I think you have to break barriers. You have to make this the standard because now you've learned that even the big boys have to do this, which is the one thing that will survive regardless of what happens. Look at esports right now. It's flourishing when nobody ever wanted to do it.
Yeah. There we go. Well,
it's crazy.
Thank you very much, Roshan, for coming on the show. We really do appreciate you coming on and being one of our guests as well. From the both of us, truly, from our hearts and from our Amnig apparel. Thank you very much. Now,
thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you. from the both of us, do catch on the RSS with AG on Sundays, as well as the extended version on Wednesdays as well. So from Harish and I, thank you very much. Keep watching the show and stay safe and stay home.